Jack Harlow stepped off the transport shuttle onto the metal landing pad of Outpost Vega 7. The wind cut through his jacket. This frozen rock at the edge of human space was where military careers came to die. A group of soldiers watched him from across the landing pad. Their eyes moved from his face to the strange armor case he carried. "Lieutenant Harlow?" A man with a sergeant's stripes approached. "I'm Sergeant Miller, welcome to hell." Jack nodded. "Thanks for the warm welcome. Command told us you were coming. The thief, right?" Miller didn't smile. Jack's jaw tightened. "I didn't steal anything." "Sure." Miller turned. "Follow me. The barracks are this way." Jack followed, feeling the stares of the other soldiers. His new home was a small metal room with a bed, desk, and locker. The walls were thin enough to hear the whispers from the hallway. "That's the guy who stole from Commander Stone's project. Court-martialed and sent here instead of prison. Lucky bastard." Jack unpacked his few belongings and pulled out his armor. Unlike the standard military suits, his was a patchwork of metal plates and wires. He ran his hand over the chest piece. They could mock him all they wanted. They didn't know the truth. The alarm blared 3 hours later. Jack jumped from his bed and grabbed his armor. "Suit up," Miller shouted from the hallway. "We've got a distress call from the science vessel Horizon." In the armory, soldiers pulled on their sleek, standard-issue combat suits. Jack assembled his makeshift armor piece by piece. "What the hell is that?" A soldier named Reyes laughed. "Did you build that from trash?" "Something like that," Jack said, locking the final piece in place. Miller frowned at Jack's armor. "That junk better not slow us down." The rescue team boarded a military shuttle and launched toward the Horizon's last known position. Jack sat alone, checking his armor systems on a small tablet. 2 minutes to target, the pilot announced. Through the viewport, Jack saw the Horizon, or what was left of it. The science vessel was torn open, its hull peeled back like the skin of a fruit. "What could do that?" someone whispered. The shuttle docked with the remains of the ship. Jack followed the team inside, his heart pounding. The air was thin. Emergency lights cast red shadows on the walls. "Life signs ahead," Miller said, checking his scanner. They moved deeper into the ship. Bodies floated in the corridors, their faces frozen in terror. Jack had seen combat before, but this was different. These people hadn't been shot. They'd been cut open. A scream came from ahead. The team ran forward into the main lab. A soldier named Davis was on his knees, something dark and fast moving around him. His armor split open like paper. Blood floated in globules around him. "Open fire!" Miller shouted. Bullets hit nothing. The dark shapes moved too fast. 3 more soldiers fell, their armor sliced through. Something slammed into Jack's chest. He stumbled back, but his armor held. The creature, Jack could see it now, paused. It had too many limbs, its body covered in what looked like liquid metal. It struck again, claws scraping against Jack's modified chest plate. Sparks flew, but the armor didn't break. "Fall back," Miller yelled. The surviving team retreated toward the shuttle. Jack fired his weapon, covering their escape. His armor took hit after hit but remained intact. A new alarm sounded. A voice came over the ship's speakers. "This is Commander Eliza Stone. All personnel evacuate immediately." Jack froze. Stone? Here? A blast rocked the corridor. Jack was thrown against a wall. When he looked up, he saw more creatures dragging someone, away. Commander Stone. The creatures disappeared with her through a hole in the hull. Outside, a ship unlike any Jack had seen before detached from the Horizon. Miller grabbed Jack's arm. "We need to go now." As they raced back to their shuttle, Jack's mind raced. The alien technology, the way they cut through standard armor but not his. He pulled out his tablet and opened a hidden file. Schematics he'd found in Stone's classified database. The reason he'd modified his armor. The reason he'd been court-martialed. The alien weapon designs matched exactly what he'd just seen. The shuttle raced back to Outpost Vega 7. Jack stared at his tablet, his mind racing. The aliens had taken Commander Stone. The same Commander Stone who had him court-martialed. The same Commander Stone whose secret files contained designs matching the alien weapons. "Everyone in the command room now," ordered Captain Walsh, the outpost commander. His face was gray with shock. The survivors gathered around a holographic display. The remains of the horizon floated in space, a broken shell. What the hell were those things? Miller asked, his voice shaking. Unknown hostile species, Walsh said, and they have Commander Stone. The room fell silent. Stone was one of the highest-ranking officers in the fleet. We need to report this to command, Walsh continued. By the time reinforcements arrive, she'll be dead, Jack said. All eyes turned to him. Walsh frowned. You have a better idea, Lieutenant Thief? Jack ignored the jab. My armor held against their weapons. Nothing else did. Why would your junk armor work when our military-grade gear failed? Reyes asked. Jack took a deep breath. Because I modified it based on designs I found in Commander Stone's classified files. The room erupted in angry shouts. So you did steal from her? Miller yelled. I didn't steal anything, Jack said firmly. I found designs she was hiding. Alien tech she was reverse engineering without telling anyone. Walsh's face hardened. That's a serious accusation. It's the truth. I was her protege before she framed me, Jack said. She's been studying these aliens for years. Jack connected his tablet to the display. The schematics appeared, showing weapons identical to what they had just faced. I recognized the danger and modified my armor to resist it, Jack explained. That's why I'm alive and Davis isn't. Walsh studied the designs, his expression grim. If what you're saying is true, we need to rescue her, Jack said. She knows more about these aliens than anyone. With what? We have one shuttle and your magic armor, Miller said. We track their ship and board it, Jack replied. I can modify your armor too. Not perfect, but better than nothing. Walsh paced the room. This is insane. Sir, Jack said, if these aliens have been studying us and Stone knows about them, we need her back. This could be the start of a war. After hours of argument, Walsh finally agreed. Jack would lead a small team. Miller, Reyes, and 2 others named Chen and Ortiz. Jack worked through the night, modifying their armor with the materials available. Not as good as his, but better than standard. Why did she frame you? Miller asked as Jack worked on his chest plate. I confronted her about the alien tech, Jack said. Next day I was arrested for theft. Why would she hide this? Jack shook his head. That's what I want to ask her. The tracking system pinged. They had located the alien ship, hiding in an asteroid field. The team boarded the shuttle. No one spoke. They all knew the odds of returning were slim. They approached the alien vessel under stealth. It was massive, at least 10 times the size of their largest battleship. How do we get in? Ortiz whispered. Jack pointed to a small opening on the ship's underside. There. They docked silently and cut through the hull. The air inside was breathable but smelled wrong, like metal and something sweet. The corridors were curved and flowing, unlike human ships. They moved quietly, weapons ready. Life signs ahead, Chen whispered, checking her scanner. They entered a large chamber filled with strange equipment, and there, in the center, was Commander Stone. She turned, her face showing surprise, then anger. Harlow, she said coldly, I ordered you to stay away from my work. We're here to rescue you, Commander, Jack said, confused by her reaction. Stone laughed, a sound that made Jack's skin crawl. Rescue me, you fool. She pressed a panel on the wall. A door opened behind them. Inside were rows upon rows of transparent pods, each containing a human body. What is this? Miller gasped. Stone smiled, but her face began to change, the skin rippling like liquid. You should have stayed on your little outpost, Jack, she said, her voice no longer human. Now you'll join my collection. Jack fired his weapon at the thing that looked like Commander Stone. The blast hit her shoulder, tearing away skin to reveal metallic flesh beneath. Run, Jack shouted to his team. They sprinted down the corridor as alien soldiers poured into the chamber behind them. The fake Stone's laughter echoed through the ship. Split up, Jack ordered. Meet at the shuttle in 30 minutes. Miller and Chen went left. Jack, Reyes, and Ortiz went right. The ship rumbled beneath their feet. We're moving, Ortiz said, checking a device on his wrist. Faster than light drive activating. Jack's stomach dropped. They're taking us somewhere. They ducked into a small maintenance shaft as alien guards ran past. The air was hot and smelled like burning metal. "What was that thing?" Reyes whispered. "It looked just like stone." "Some kind of copy," Jack said. "A fake." For 3 days, they lived like rats in the walls of the alien ship. They stole food from storage areas and slept in shifts. Miller and Chen never made it to the shuttle. The aliens had found it and destroyed it. "We need to find a way to contact Earth," Jack said as they huddled in a ventilation shaft. "First, we need to know what we're dealing with," Ortiz replied. "I've been mapping the ship. There's a large section we haven't explored yet." They moved through the ship's inner workings, avoiding patrols. Jack's modified armor helped them detect alien movement through the walls. The unexplored section was heavily guarded. They watched from a vent as aliens moved in and out of a large doorway. "We need a distraction," Jack said. Reyes nodded. "I'll set charges on the power conduits we passed." The explosion rocked the ship. Alarms blared. Guards ran toward the blast. Jack, Ortiz, and Reyes slipped into the restricted area. Inside was a massive chamber filled with thousands of transparent pods. Each pod held a human body. "My God," Ortiz whispered. They moved between the rows of pods. The humans inside were alive but unconscious, floating in clear liquid. "Look," Reyes pointed to a pod near the center. Jack's heart stopped. Inside was Commander Stone. The real Commander Stone. Her eyes were closed. Her skin was pale. Tubes ran from her body to machines beside the pod. "She's alive," Jack said, checking the pod's readings. "If she's here, then who was that other Stone?" Ortiz asked. "A copy," Jack said. "They replaced her with one of them." Jack worked quickly, overriding the pod systems. The liquid drained. Stone's eyes fluttered open. "Easy," Jack said as he opened the pod. "You're safe now." Stone coughed, water spilling from her mouth. "Harlow? How?" "Long story, Commander." Her eyes focused on his armor. "You used my designs." "They saved my life," Jack said. "These aliens, they cut through standard armor like it's paper." "Krell," Stone whispered. "They're called the Krell." A door slid open at the far end of the chamber. The fake Stone walked in, flanked by guards. "Hide," Jack hissed. They ducked behind a row of pods. The real Stone was weak, barely able to stand. "How long was I in there?" she asked. "I don't know," Jack said. "But your copy has been running your division for a while." Stone's face hardened. "They've been planning this for years, infiltrating our leadership." "Why?" "They're dying. Their species is failing. They need something from us." She grabbed Jack's arm. "We need to warn Earth." The ship shuddered. Through a viewport, Jack saw stars blur into lines. "We've jumped to hyperspace," Ortiz said. "Where are we going?" Reyes asked. Stone's face went pale. "Earth. They're going to Earth." The fake Stone's voice came over the ship's speakers. "Attention all Krell warriors. Prepare for the harvest. Earth's coordinates have been transmitted to the fleet." Jack looked at the real Stone. "How do we stop them?" "We can't," she said. "But I know how we can warn Earth." Stone leaned against Jack as they moved through the ship's maintenance tunnels. Her legs were weak from years in the pod. "The bridge is 5 levels up," she said. "They have a quantum transmitter that can send messages instantly across any distance." "Even in hyperspace?" Ortiz asked. Stone nodded. "It uses quantum entanglement, not affected by normal space limitations." "Great," Reyes said. "We just need to fight through an army of aliens to reach it." Jack checked his weapon. "Not necessarily. Commander, you said you know these aliens, the Krell. What are their weaknesses?" "They rely on a hive mind for coordination," Stone explained. "Disrupt that and they become confused." Jack thought for a moment. "My armor. The modifications I made based on your designs. Could we use that technology to interfere with their communications?" Stone studied his armor. "Yes. If we can access a central computer terminal, we could broadcast a disruption signal." They found a terminal in an empty lab. Jack connected his armor systems while Stone typed commands. "I learned their language during my captivity," she explained. They kept me conscious at first, studying me, asking questions. Why did they replace you? Reyes asked. I was developing weapons that could hurt them. They needed to stop my research and learn what we knew about them. Her hands paused on the keyboard. I'm sorry about what happened to you, Jack. The real me would never have betrayed you like that. Jack nodded. I know. An alarm blared. Red lights flashed in the corridor. They've detected our access, Stone said. The disruption signal is ready, but we need to get to the bridge to send the warning to Earth. How long until we reach Earth? Jack asked. Hours, Stone said. Maybe less. They moved quickly through the ship. The disruption signal worked. Krell soldiers moved erratically, confused by the interference in their hive mind. They reached the bridge level but found the main door heavily guarded. We need another way in, Jack said. Stone pointed to a maintenance hatch. Through there, it leads to the environmental systems behind the bridge. Ortiz set their last explosive charge on a nearby power junction. The blast shook the corridor, drawing the guards away from the door. They slipped through the hatch and crawled through narrow tunnels. Through vents, they could see the bridge, a massive chamber with curved walls covered in displays. The fake Stone stood at the center, surrounded by Krell officers. Ready? Jack asked. They burst onto the bridge, weapons firing. The confused Krell scattered. Jack's modified armor deflected their return fire. Stone ran to the main console. Cover me. The fake Stone turned, her face contorting with rage. You! She moved with inhuman speed, knocking Reyes aside. Ortiz fired, hitting her in the chest, but she kept coming. Jack stepped between them. Why are you doing this? Why Earth? The fake Stone smiled, her face rippling. Your species has what we need. A genetic trait that could save our kind from extinction. By harvesting us? Jack fired his weapon, but she dodged. We tried cooperation centuries ago. Your kind refused. She lunged at Jack, her arm transforming into a blade. Jack blocked with his armored forearm. The metal screeched but held. Message sent, the real Stone shouted from the console. Earth knows they're coming, the fake Stone screamed in rage. It doesn't matter. Your defenses are nothing against our fleet. The real Stone typed frantically. Jack, I can use their drive system to create a wormhole. It could send us back to Earth instantly ahead of their fleet. Do it, Jack shouted, still fighting the fake Stone. The ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared. What have you done? The fake Stone hissed. Something you didn't expect, the real Stone said. Humans improvise. The bridge erupted in chaos. Panels exploded. The floor buckled. The wormhole is destabilizing the ship, Stone shouted. We need to get to an escape pod. Jack grabbed her arm. Ortiz was already down, bleeding from a head wound. Reyes fired continuously, keeping the Krell at bay. Go, Reyes shouted. I'll hold them off. Not without you, Jack yelled. A massive explosion tore through the bridge. Jack was thrown backward, his vision blurred. The last thing he saw was Stone reaching for him as the ship tore itself apart. Jack woke to bright lights and the smell of antiseptic. A hospital room. On Earth, a doctor leaned over him. He's awake. How long? Jack's voice was hoarse. 3 months, the doctor said. You've been in a coma since your pod crashed. Jack tried to sit up. Stone? Reyes? Ortiz? The doctor's face fell. I'm sorry. You were the only survivor. A television on the wall showed scenes of destruction. Cities burning. Strange ships in the sky. The Krell invasion had begun. Jack stood on the roof of the military headquarters, watching Krell ships move through the smoke-filled sky. 3 months of war had left Earth scarred and burning, millions dead, cities in ruins, but humanity fought back. Lieutenant Harlow, General Rivera approached. The strike team is ready. Jack nodded. His armor gleamed in the red sunlight. Not the cobbled-together suit from Vega 7, but a refined version. Earth scientists had taken his designs and improved them. Now every soldier wore armor that could resist Krell weapons. Any word on the infiltrators? Jack asked. We've identified 12 Krell disguised as military leaders, Rivera said. There are more. Jack knew the truth. The warning he and Stone had sent saved Earth from complete surprise, but the Krell had been planning this for decades. They had agents everywhere. He thought of Stone every day. Her sacrifice. Her knowledge that had given humanity a fighting chance. The command ship has been located, Rivera said. If we can take it out, we might break their coordination. Jack checked his weapon. Then let's not waste time. The strike team consisted of 20 soldiers. The best Earth had left. They boarded a stealth shuttle designed to evade Krell sensors. Target is in low orbit over what used to be Beijing, the pilot said. Heavy defenses. Jack addressed the team. We get in, set the charges, and get out. Simple. No one smiled. Nothing was simple anymore. The shuttle approached the massive Krell command ship. It was twice the size of the vessel Jack had been on 3 months ago. The pilot navigated through debris from previous battles. Docking in 30 seconds, the pilot announced. Jack felt the familiar weight of fear and determination. For Earth. For Earth, the team echoed. They breached the hull and moved quickly through the ship. Jack's improved armor included Krell detection technology. They avoided patrols and reached the central chamber. Plant the charges, Jack ordered. 10 minutes should give us enough time to reach the extraction point. As the team worked, Jack felt something wrong. A presence. Hello, Jack. He turned. Commander Stone, the fake one, stood in the doorway. Her human disguise was perfect again. You're persistent, she said. I admire that about your species. Jack raised his weapon. It's over. Your fleet is losing. She laughed. We never lose. We adapt. Krell soldiers surrounded the team. The fake Stone walked closer. The real Stone is dead, Jack said. Is she? The fake Stone smiled. Her body died, yes, but we saved what matters. A screen on the wall activated. A face appeared. Stone's face, but different. Her eyes glowed with an inner light. Jack, the face said. Her voice was distorted, mechanical. What have you done to her? Jack demanded. We absorbed her consciousness into our hive mind, the fake Stone explained. She resisted at first, but now she's part of us. The face on the screen changed, becoming more human. Jack, it's me. They've connected me to their network. I can see everything. Jack's team looked to him, waiting for orders. The charges are set, his second-in-command whispered. The fake Stone circled Jack. You have a choice. Join us willingly, like Stone did, or die fighting a war you cannot win. She didn't join you willingly, Jack said. The face on the screen spoke again. Jack, listen to me. I'm fighting them from inside. I can give you control of their systems, but only for a moment. The fake Stone frowned. What is she doing? The lights flickered. Krell soldiers twitched and stumbled. Now, Jack! Stone's voice shouted from every speaker. Jack fired at the fake Stone. His team attacked the confused Krell soldiers. Get to the shuttle, Jack ordered. What about you? His second-in-command asked. Jack looked at Stone's face on the screen. I'm getting her out. He ran to a control panel and connected his armor systems. What are you doing? Stone asked. Downloading you, Jack said. Your consciousness. If you do that, the charges won't detonate. The ship will survive. Jack hesitated. Save Stone or destroy the command ship. He couldn't do both. Do it, Jack, Stone said. Save Earth. That's an order. Jack's hand hovered over the panel. Then he smiled. With all due respect, Commander, I never was good at following orders. His fingers flew over the controls. He modified the detonation sequence, redirecting the explosion to the ship's engines. What are you doing? Stone asked. Saving both, Jack said. He completed the download as the first explosion rocked the ship. With Stone's consciousness stored in his armor, he ran for the shuttle. The command ship broke apart behind them as they escaped. The Krell fleet fell into disarray without its central control. 1 month later, Jack stood before the Earth Defense Council. The war wasn't over, but humanity was winning. Your actions saved countless lives, the council president said. And the technology you recovered from Commander Stone's consciousness has given us the edge we needed. Jack looked at the hologram beside him, Stone's face reconstructed from her downloaded consciousness. We still have work to do, Jack said. The Krell will adapt. They always do. And so will we, Stone's hologram replied. That's what humans do best. Jack nodded. On the table before the council lay his newest design, armor that combined the best of human ingenuity with Krell technology. Its name was etched on the chest plate, Stone.